Mataji hosted the program at this very place. So again, we are very fortunate that not only we are very fortunate, but because of Meghna Mataji and family, we are very fortunate again to have this program at this very place, almost exactly at the same time of the Kartik month. Thank you so much, Mataji. You will be greatly blessed. No question about it. Hosting a program any time of the year, but especially in Kartik, is a very, very big blessing. You will be inviting the restaurant to do also having very special experience as well. Hare Krishna.
Oh, fantastic. Om Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakramalatam Yena Tasmai Shri Guravai Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapat Kamlam Shri Gurana Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagratam Sagandragnatvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarabhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanitavascha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Satadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubaksha kripa sindhuvayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are all very fortunate to be meeting again, and as Prabhuji said, there is nothing that happens by chance. It's all Krishna's planning. It's his planning that again in Kartik I'm here, and again I'm at Meghna's place. The last program last year we had at her place. This year again the last home program is at her place. So it's all Krishna's planning. It can never happen by chance. I had not planned it even. I had not planned the trip to Australia. I was supposed to go to London, but then there were sudden changes that happened and I flew to Australia. So we are very fortunate to be meeting again. It's all Krishna's plan. And as Prabhuji said, when the Vaishnavas come, those Vaishnavas are the ones on whom Vishnu is very happy upon. Vaishnavas are the ones who chant the holy name. They are the sadhakas. They do sadhana. So they are very fortunate and the hosts are very fortunate. So I was going to speak a katha. Here you go. Thank you.
This is my garden.
Wow, beautiful. Very good. Very nice. So, and I really appreciate light garlands. I don't like the heavy, heavy ones. Very well. So, today, as Prabhuji said, that when the Vaishnavas come, it's very auspicious. So, just it came to me a katha. Again, the katha is from, as you all know, I have written books from the Guru Granth Sahib and the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, all together compiled. So there is a katha from the Granth Sahib. That's a Sand Nai, the barber sand. This barber, he had taken initiation and he asked his guru, when will I get the fruit of my initiation? How will I know that I have really, my initiation has been worthwhile? What I've got is worth it. So when will I get the fruit of my initiation? What will happen in my life? He said, the day you will receive Vaishnavas in your home, you will be the most blessed person in the world. and he took these words of his guru to his heart. And his job was to give massage to the king of the state every night. Every night he has to go to the king to massage him. And that was his job. He could not take any leave. The king would not sleep if he would not be there. He had to be there. And the king was very, very, you would say he was very strict with this. And now this Sandhanai, one night, one evening, when he was coming out of his home, he saw a group of Vaishnavas coming towards his home. He was leaving his house and he saw a group of Vaishnavas singing Hari Bhajan coming towards his house. Now he was totally confused what to do. If he doesn't go to the king's palace, king will not like it. He might put him in prison, he might kill him even. So he was very scared. On the other side, he remembered the words of his guru, his spiritual father. He remembered the words that he said, the day you receive the Vaishnavas in our home, you will be blessed. Now he was totally confused what to do. Then he said, let the king go to whatever it is, but I will follow the words of my spiritual master. He received the Vaishnava home. The whole night they did kirtan. The whole night Harinam went on. They danced and they sang. And the whole night it was so blissful, he never knew even the whole night had passed away. Now, in the morning, the Vaishnavas left his home. And now, again, the evening came up. So he was very surprised. No one came from the palace. No one came inquiring about him that why he was not there. What happened? He was so scared now going to the palace in the evening. He dressed up to leave for the palace now. And he thought, what would he say to the king? How would the king react? He didn't know anything. Maybe when he the palace, he will be imprisoned. Maybe he's put to any atrocities. He never knew what would happen. So with a very heavy heart, like a scared heart, he entered the palace. He went to the king. He reached his inner chambers of the king. And he was surprised. The king was so happy with him. The king said, the massage you gave last night was wonderful. I had never ever you had given such a massage. That massage was out of this world. What you gave me last night. I want to reward you for that. I was waiting for you. I wanted to reward you. And he rewarded him with lot of wealth. So now and I knew who came in place of him. The Supreme Lord came in place of him because he was listening to the bhajan, he was doing the kirtan there. He did a service to the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord came to do service for him as he did for Arjuna. This is there in the Guru Granth Sahib. That Sandhanai is glorified there because he chose Krishna above his life. So that is how it is. When we follow the instructions of the spiritual master and we follow and do them as the spiritual master says, then we are blessed. And Krishna takes care of us. So in the 9th chapter, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananya samama chintito ye janya paripaste, tesham nitya bhoktanam yogashemam aham. Krishna says very clearly, those who do my Ananya Bhakti, those who always remember me and never forget me, they always chant my holy name. I bring to them what they lack, what they don't have, I bring it personally. And what they have, I protect it already. I give protection to what they have. And I bring what they lack. So that guarantee Krishna gives. Yoga Shemam Vahame Aham. He says I, no one else. So I was reading Gita Mahatam. In Gita Mahatam, Shivji tells, the Gita Mahatam is actually spoken by Shivji. He glorifies Krishna. He's telling the Mahatam to Parvati. So even Parvati asks him that whose mund you are wearing in your neck? This garland of all skulls he wears in his neck. She says, whose mund are these? And he says, they are all yours. You come and leave, but Shivji is eternal. He is always there. Sadashiv is always there. So he says, I wear your, whenever you leave, I have this with me. I love you so much. So he tells this. Even Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken to Parvati by Shivji. Shivji speaks the Gita Mahatam Even the Bhagavad Gita, the glories of Bhagavad Gita, he speaks to Parvati. And when this shloka comes, Anana samama chintito yajanya paripasate, then he tells a story to Parvati. He says there was a Yamuna Acharya, a great commentator on Bhagavad Gita. And when this shlok came before him, when he was writing the commentary, when this shlok came to him, he was double-minded. That how can Krishna goes to millions and millions and millions of people are there, and he says, Yoga Shemam Vahame Aham. I don't send anybody, I come myself. How does he come? He could not understand the greatness of Krishna. Like yesterday, those who were in the class in the temple, do they remember we did what? Anybody was there in the class yesterday from here? No one? Yeah, Puran 47 shloka. There was a word, the phrase was there. That phrase, Krishna says, Prahlad says about Krishna praying to the Supreme Lord, to Narsimhadev, when he glorifies Narsimhadev, he says, you are the cause and effect. That means everything is from you. You are the cause. And what we do also, it's for you only. Everything is you. There's all the happiness, all the pain, all the gain, it's you. It's for you. Everything is coming because of your sanctioning it. So that is how it is. So here also, Yamuna Acharya fails to understand this greatness. Why Prahladji says this? Because this is the greatness of the Supreme Lord. Even the Gurbani says, Ape Gopi, Ape Kana. Himself is Radharani, he himself is Gopi, he himself is Krishna. He is everything. Spiritual, material, everything. When you start seeing in material also Krishna, that becomes spiritualized. That's what Prabhupada says. You may use everything, the material you have for Krishna, it becomes spiritual. Whether you own a jet plane, whether you own the biggest car in the world, whether you own many houses, but you put them to the service of Krishna, they are no more material. They are all now dham. Those houses become Vaikuntha house. So it is like this here also. When Yamunacharya, he failed to understand, he had a doubt now. How can Krishna go to every house, every person, and what he lacks he will give him, and what he has he will protect him? He failed to understand the greatness. And he was a pure Brahmana. So Brahmins never hoard anything. They never actually, it says, Patana, Patana, Yajana, Yajan, accepting gifts and giving gifts. These 6 things are what the Brahmanas do, pure Vaishnavas. They don't hoard anything. They only go for out. What they eat is bhiksha. What they go out, they get the bhiksha, they come home and they cook that food. Even in the kitchen, they will not hoard anything. Every day they will beg, bring, cook, offer boga, eat it, the prasad. That's it. Every day. So that's what he did the same day. So Yamunacharya told his wife, she said there is nothing to eat at home. So he said, okay, I will go for the bhiksha now. And he was very doubtful for this verse. So he underlined this Yoga Shemam Vahame Aham, this line, he underlined with a red pen. He had a red pen, he underlined it because he doubted it. He did not write the commentary for that. He put it at a halt, a pause. He said, after I'll go for bhiksha, to get bhiksha and take a dip in the river and then come back and then I will think over what to write here. He was very doubtful, though he was a very great devotee. And he went to get bhiksha. And that day when he was going house to house begging for food, for bhiksha, nobody gave him a single grain. Nobody gave him anything. Somebody said, oh, today they had some sutak, some like this. They said, we have a graham, we have everything. They made excuses. But nobody gave anything to him to eat. Now he was wondering what he will go home and how will he tell his wife that he didn't get anything to eat. And thinking that way, he went to take dip in the river. Now what happens in the meantime, a young boy, a 15-year-old boy, reaches his house with a bag full of all the ingredients for the kitchen, for cooking. It's a big bag full of all dal, chawal, everything, rice and dal, lentils, everything. And this boy is carrying this heavy bag on his back. he knocks at his door and his wife, Yamunacharya's wife, comes out. And he tells her, she says, who are you? And he says, your husband has sent this. He's got a lot of bhiksha today. And he has sent me to give it to you because he cannot carry it. It's so heavy. The bag is very heavy. He cannot carry. And then he says, who are you then? He says, I am the disciple of your husband. She says, he doesn't have any disciple. He says, you ask a lot of questions. And then he says, your husband also, he bet me today. I was not carrying this. And he said, no, you have to carry this. You see, my whole back it's got all red lines on them. He really lashed me. And she looks at the back and they are all red scars, like red lines on his back. And then she says, okay, on one condition, I will take everything from you. You have to wait for him. Until he comes, leave. So please come to this room and sit here till I cook the bhoga for Krishna. And then she goes and she starts preparing and he says, okay, I will wait. He goes and sits in the same room where he was writing the commentary. And now she cooks, the beautiful aroma is coming from her kitchen. And in the meantime, her husband also reaches home and he is very worried what they will eat today. But when he reaches the door, he can smell such nice from the kitchen. He could smell the nice aroma coming from the kitchen and that something is being cooked. And he's surprised what she's cooking. And then he calls his wife, he enters. And he says, what you are cooking? She said, you only sent so many things. There's a boy who brought all this. And she tells the whole story. And he said, where is that boy? She says, he's sitting in this room. And Yamunacharya rushes in the room. He knows it now that it was Krishna who came himself. He rushes in the room and he says, there is nobody inside. But that red line that he had put beneath Yogashema Bahami Aham had been out. It was no more there. Krishna proved it that he comes himself. But the condition is one, Ananya Samama Chintateo Yajanya Upasate. Those who do Ananya Bhakti, those who are surrendered totally, those who chant the holy name with full faith and full enthusiasm. Krishna says, I bring them what they lack. I take care of them personally. So this is how these stories, and they are real stories, Shivji tells to Parvati. This is in Gita Mahattam. So we are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada made it for us to access to these stories. Otherwise, we would have all been in the material world, doing what others do, and we say, oh my, they are all materialistic people. We would have been one of them, maybe worse than them. So we are fortunate that we have Srila Prabhupada, we have the Guru Parampara to which we can cling and really see the nectar flowing to us. So even, I was just reading when I came here, I just opened the book that what I should read. So I came across Bipar Sadama Daladi Bala Sakhai Mitra Sadai Lagu Hai Brahmani Mil Jagdish Dalibdar Gavai. So we all know the story of Bipar Sadama. Sadama is Krishna's friend. He's a Brahmana again. But Sadama is leading a Dalidra. He is very Daridra. He is very poor. He doesn't have anything he just have one dhoti and that's also torn from places and places. His wife has got one sari that is torn away. And his wife begs him, oh, you always tell you have a great friend in Dwaraka. He's a king. He's your friend. Why don't you go to him? And then Sudama is not ready to go. Sudama has got a lot of pride in him. He says, I can't go and beg from him. He is my friend, but I cannot go and beg. That he's got ahankar, he's got the pride in him. Krishna does not like pride in people. He never likes the people who have a lot of ego in them. He does not like them. He likes devotees because devotees mean they are servants. They serve. So devotees word actually means serve. Devotional life means service with love. So he loves devotees. So now Bipar Sadama, he actually on his wives, this story comes in the Granth Sahib again. I'm reading from the Guru Granth Sahib only. Chalya gadha gantya kyu kar jaya kaun milay. So this is actually given in the book, which is actually a key to Granth Sahib, written by the author of Granth Sahib. Granth Sahib was being spoken, Sri Guru Granth Sahib was spoken by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the fifth Sikh Guru. And Bhai Gurdas Ji was penning it down. So when Bhai Gurdas Ji, he wrote another book called Vara. Because Guru Arjan Dev, the Sikh Guru, wanted him, he was a great scholar, Bhai Gurdas Ji. So he wanted Bhai Gurdas Ji to write something that could be put into the Guru Granth Sahib also. But he refused. He said, I am your servant, I am your disciple. How can I put something equal to you? So I will not give anything in writing for the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. But he wrote another book called Vara. In that book, he writes all about this. So he writes here that Chalya gada gantya kyun kar jaiye kaun milaye Pahuta nagar dwar ka singh dwar khalota jaye. So he reached Sudama, he's talking about Sudama, that on his wife's request, Sudama goes to Dwarka. And she gives him, she actually borrows the puffed rice from the neighbors, a small handful of puffed rice. She tears a cloth, and a dirty cloth she has. She doesn't have anything nice. She ties it in it and gives it to Sudama to give it to Krishna. Don't go empty hand. So nobody goes empty hand to Krishna. Whatever little what you have, like Sudama, he had only those. Even borrowed puffed rice, he took those. So Sudama reaches there. Duro dekh dandot kar chhad singhasan harji aaye. So Krishna actually, when he reaches the gates of his palace, he tells the soldiers outside, he tells them that please go and tell Krishna that his friend has come. And they just, because Krishna knows everything, who is at the door. He knew that Sudama had come. Now Sudama has actually killed his ego to come here. That's how he was there at the doors. That's why when we pray to Krishna, we kill our ego. Otherwise we think, oh, I can manage myself. We don't go to Krishna till we are totally helpless. But if we go first to Krishna and take help, then we will always be successful. So here, the soldiers, the dwarpals, the doorkeepers, they go inside and tell Krishna that a Sudama has come. And he claims that he is your friend. And that is how Duro Dek Dandot Kar Chad Singhasan. Krishna actually did Dandot to Brahmana. And he ran from inside, from the palace towards the door to receive Sudama. And then it says here, Kar chhad singhasan harji aaye, pehle de pradakshana, peri pe gal na laye. He touched the feet of the Brahmana. He did his parikrama. He went around, circumambulated him, and then embraced him. This is what he did. Krishna did to Sudama, his dear friend. And then it says, Charan dokhle pair toye singhasan utte bithaye. And he made him sit on the singhasan where Krishna was sitting himself a few minutes ago. He respected the Brahmana in such a way that shows that how a Brahmana is respected, a Vaishnava is respected. He placed him on the same singhasan and then he actually washed his feet. His queens are pouring water. His queens are pouring water and he is washing the feet of the Sudama, of the Brahmana. Puchhe kushal pyaryo kar guru seva di katha sunaya. And he asked him all about how is his wife and talked about the days in the Gurukul with him, about their spiritual master. They talked about, they were in Sandeepa Muni's ashram, both had been there together. Leke tandul chabao vidya. And then he grabbed the puffed rice he had brought. He actually grabbed them from Sudama. Sudama was feeling very shy in giving them. Because sitting in a palace in a dirty cloth, tied few grains of puffed rice, how he was feeling so shy, so embarrassed to give it to Krishna. But Krishna knew he had it and he was literally grabbing it from him. And when Krishna grabs it from him and starts eating them, And everybody is watching in surprise. All the queens are watching. Rukmini, Satyabhama, all are there, and they're watching what is happening. Why Krishna is getting crazy for those puffed rice? And then it is Char Padarat Sakuch Pathai. And they didn't know in those puffed rice, everything was actually the blessings were there. While he was eating those, he was showering his blessings on Sudama. He was getting all those Char Padarat. So he is being blessed there. And now, when Sudama leaves the palace, Krishna never asks him. He just sees his dhoti. He never gives him another dhoti also. Sudama leaves in the same dhoti. And he is very surprised. His friend, being such a king, never asked for anything, never gave him anything. He just asked how everything is at home, and he just said, "Oh, all fine." And then Krishna never said anything. He did not give him anything. And Sudama leaves the place and goes back to his home. And when he reaches there, what happens? He sees his wife standing in the corner of the road when he reaches that street of where his hut was there. He reaches there and he says, the hut is no more. There's a big palace there now. And his wife is standing with all silk saris and loaded with ornaments. She's standing at the corner of the road. And then he enters this palace and he sees, because he used to sleep on a mat on the floor, and now he sees that his palace has got all the floors even of emeralds and diamonds. Now if he sleeps on the floor also, if he tells anyone I sleep on the floor is much more than what a bed would cost. It was so beautiful, so opulent. So this is Krishna. He actually blesses those who kill their ego. Humility. That is why Krishna loves humility. So I was going through this. There is a story about Namdevji. Namdevji is from Maharashtra, a devotee of Krishna. He had 72 times the darshan of Krishna. 72 times he actually saw Krishna. He was blessed by the Supreme Lord. 72 times Krishna appeared before him. And there is a very beautiful verse in the Guru Granth Sahib. It says there is a conversation between two pure devotees of the Lord. It's Namdevji and Sant Trilochan. They are from Maharashtra. And Namdevji is asking the Lord himself that how his friend Trilochan can have the darshan. Because Namdevji has had darshan many times. He is asking Krishna now, please tell me, how can my friend also, this devotee also, how can he have darshan of yours? Please tell me the way. And it says here, Namdevji says, Hasake bolya. When Namdevji asked this to Krishna, Krishna started laughing. He started smiling. That Namdevji is telling, he is smiling. Haske Thakur bolya, Namdev nu kya samjhaya. And he tells Namdevji, he is actually literally making him understand. He tells Namdevji, Hatna ave bet so tusi trilochan manmu lave. How adin ha bhaktande, pahunchna hanga pagati. So he says, I am actually captured by the devotees. I can only be captured, conquered by the devotees. Nobody else can ever see me. Nobody else can ever conquer me. So this is the Kartik month. Yashoda actually captured Krishna by running after him. She captured. The running after means by the love. The love, her love captured Krishna. Her love made Krishna come to his courtyard, be her son, though he was born to Devaki. But where did he spend all the time? He was with Yashoda. So Yashoda is more glorified than Devaki. Yashoda actually had more love for Krishna. So Krishna was in his courtyard, there in his house, in her house. And he says to Namdevji that I cannot be captured. Adhin means captured. I can't be captured by non-devotees. Only my devotees can capture me. Deve eho vilochana an milava. And he further says, I am roped by the devotion of my devotees. I surrender to my devotees. And the middleman between me and my devotees, Krishna says to Namdev ji, the middleman between me and my devotees is the pure devotion granted by the Guru, the spiritual master, who blesses us so that the pure devotion comes to our mind. It comes in our heart. And that makes me meet my devotees, he says. So I meet my devotees on the basis only of pure devotion. There is nothing else other than that. So Shuddha Bhakti, Krishna is always asking for Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti on the basis of pure knowledge. It can't on your whims and fancies that you manufacture any idea of bhakti. You have to do bhakti according to the acharyas, what the acharyas have given, what the Guru Parampara has given, the previous gurus have given. So in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 55th verse, we know Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Krishna says that. Yavan Yaschashami Tatvata. So he says, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So he can enter the kingdom of God who are actually in the pure consciousness of Krishna. So if you really want to enter the kingdom of God, you have to kill your pride. You have to be humble so that we can enter the kingdom of God by pure devotion. So like stories, they help us to actually inculcate bhakti and make it strong. So be in the association of devotees. And we know the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela says, Brahmana Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. So the bij of bhakti, the seed of bhakti is actually comes by Lord's mercy, one gets it. But the Lord's mercy, one gets the association of Guru. And by Guru's mercy, one gets Supreme Lord. So how the vicious cycle is. If when we pray to the Supreme Lord that we want to come back to you, he sends us a Guru. And the Guru blesses us and we receive Krishna. Even the Guru Granth Sahib, we sing it starts with Ekomkar Satnam Karta Purukh Nirpao Nirvair Akala Murata Juni Sahib Bangur Prasad Jap. So it's Ekomkar, it starts with Om. Ek Omkar. Every Vedic mantra starts with Om. Bhagavatam starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it is like that. Ekomkar Satnam Karta Purukh. He is the absolute truth. He is the doer of everything. Krishna says, I am the doer of everything. He is the doer of everything. Karta Purukh Nirpao. He is above any fear. Nirpao Nirvair. He is above any animosity. He has no friends, no enemies. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. Nirvair, Nirpao, Nirvair, Akal Murat. He is Akal Murat. He is beyond Kal. Krishna says, Kal cannot touch me. That time doesn't touch him. Akal Murat. Ajuni Sebang. He is out of all Ajunis, out of all the cycle of the 84 cycle, the 84 species cycle we go through, he is not in that. He's a yoni. He's above all yonis, above all species. He's the creator of them. A yoni, it says, Nirbhav, Nirvair, Akal, Murat, Yoni Sabang, Guru Prasad. How will you get to him? Guru Prasad. Prasad means mercy. By Guru's mercy. So by Guru's mercy, what does one do? The next word is Jap. When Jap is written there in this mantra, there are 2 lines in the beginning and 2 lines where the Jap word ends. So it is enclosed in that. So those who chant the holy name, they receive the mercy of the Guru. They receive Supreme Lord. So this is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. And yes, I have written many more things in these books that I have compiled. These books are actually all the verses compiled from both the scriptures. There is nothing what I have written, it's all a compilation. So it says here that in the early hours of morning one should chant the Lord's name. Prate kal har naam ucharo. So when to do japa? I just said one has to chant, but when to chant? It's pratekal, early in the morning. Early in the morning, one has to chant the holy name. Pratekal harinam ucharo, it utki ot savaro. So I take his shelter and I hear and hereafter. Sada sada japo harinam. So always, always, always chant Hari's name. Pure hove manake kam. If you want your things to be sorted out, so that will be done. Purana hove man ke kam. Your desires will be fulfilled. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. If you need money, come to me. If you are in distress, come to me. If you are inquisitive, come to me. If you are in knowledge of me, come to me. So these all four are very pious, he says, because they are coming to me. In every situation, they come to me. So it is here, Puran hove manke kam, prabhabinasi ren din ga. So he is eternal, he is imperishable. God is Lord is imperishable. Hari is imperishable. So day and night sing his glories. Jivat marat neh chal pave thao. So in this life and after death also, you at the place because you will be in your eternal home. That home that will never, it's eternal, it's unchanging, it's all the time it's to be there. Guru Prasad Nanak Naam Te Aaya. So Nanak, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, by Guru's mercy, I'm chanting the holy name. So Guru's mercy is very important to chant the holy name. So we are very fortunate that we are already into the process. We have been listening to so many acharyas. We have listened to Prabhupada. We read books. So we all know the way to Godhead. But we have to follow it very seriously. Even we know Shivji. Shivji is very dear to Krishna. He is Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu. The Param Vaishnava. So Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, he says. There is not a bigger devotee than Shivji. He even wanted, he promised Krishna that he will give him darshan because even the demigod and Devam Mahadevi when he is, it's very difficult for them to reach to Krishna, to have his darshan. But Krishna assured him that when he comes to Gokul in Dwapar Yuga, he will give darshan to Shivji. And Shivji reaches, in Gokul, he reaches Krishna. He knows there is Nanda Baba's courtyard, there is a small baby has come. And he reaches there. All ashes upon him. He's got snakes in his neck. He's got jatai. And he reaches the courtyard there. And then he calls out for the child to be brought out to have his darshan. But Krishna is crying inside. He's crying at his, screaming and crying. There's a little baby in Yashoda's lap, crying and crying. And outside, Shivji is saying, calling out for him, Alak Niranjan, he's chanting that. But then he's saying, bring the boy out, bring the Lala out. And they get scared. They say, oh, he's got such an appearance he has. They get scared. But here Krishna is not stopping. He's crying and crying. They tell Shivji, they says, Baba, please go away. Our child is getting scared inside. He is when you speak so loudly, he is crying. But Krishna was crying because he should be taken out. But they are not taking him out. They turned Shivji away. But when Shivji walks back, the baby doesn't stop crying. And then the older gopis say, oh, we must get him back, There is some buri nazar on Krishna. Evil eye has come. So we should bring this Baba back and he should do something so the evil eye goes away. So they call back Shivji. And then Shivji comes and they say, okay, bless the baby. He's crying and crying. And then Shivji takes the baby in his hand, in his arms. And the baby actually then touches with his feet Shivji's head. And he's pacified. Because Shivji wanted the blessings and he gave it. So this is how Shivji takes darshan. And then when he is doing Rasa Leela, Shivji again he has a desire to be a part of the Rasa Leela. And now Krishna says, you cannot enter as you are a gopi. Only my gopis can see this Rasa Leela. And then Shivji says, oh, I'll become one gopi. I'm ready to be a gopi for you. And then the Yog Maya blesses him makes him a gopi, dresses him as a gopi. He takes bath in the Yamuna and then he is decorated as a gopi. And that is why he could witness, he could see the Rasa Leela. And then he was actually named as Gopeshwar Mahadev. So you can go to Vrindavan, have darshan of Gopeshwar Mahadev. So that's why he became the Ishwara for gopis and called Gopeshwar Mahadev. So you go to the temple of Gopeshwar Mahadev, the bhoga is offered to Krishna, then that thali is brought to Shivji, the Shivling is there, the thali is brought to, the prasad is brought to Shivji, and then it is distributed among others. So this is they know how the process is. First Krishna and then it's brought to Shivji and then distributed. So these are beautiful pastimes where Shivji, and there are many more pastimes of Shivji and Krishna, where Shivji is actually saying that one should actually pray to Vishnu. In Bhagavad Gita Mahatma also, he tells Parvati asks him, whose bhakti one should do, whom one should chant. And then Shivji says, it's Vishnu, it's Krishna. One should chant the holy name of Krishna. So this is how the Supreme Lord is glorified in the scripture. Supreme Lord is glorified in everywhere in our hearts. One should glorify the Supreme Lord far and wide. So that is Guru Prasadik. It's Guru's mercy one gets the seed of devotion. And when we preach, first we practice and then we go and tell others. So Krishna is very happy when we do that. So that's the mercy of the Supreme Lord, mercy of Guru Parampara, that I was given this opportunity to be here. My spiritual master, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he actually ordered me that I should become an international preacher when I joined ISKCON in the year. I joined in 99, but then after a few years only, he started saying that I must travel and be an international preacher. So I started in 2007, I started with Australia itself. The first trip was to Sydney. Canberra, I had come for one day sightseeing trip with the devotees from Sydney at that time in 2007. I was in Sydney and Melbourne at that time. So I had been coming till 2012 and 13, but then every year or once or twice a year also I was coming. But then I focused more towards Canada, and I was there in US, Canada, and Europe. But then last year, that was again after a long pause, I came back to Australia. And this year again, I was invited again. So I thank you all in this last house program here, that I am very grateful to the devotees of Australia, devotees of Canberra, especially those who really take the opportunity they did not miss. Some of you did not miss a single lecture. They were always there in every lecture. So I'm very, very grateful to all of them. Those who really made it, and some are very organized, especially Ritesh Prabhu, Chandan Yatra Prabhu, Ayodhya Prabhu. They all actually motivated me and pursued with all these programs, and they organized it. And as usual, the last program, house program again at Meghna's, as I said earlier, yes, destined like that. Krishna has destined it this way, that the grand finale is always at her home. So I thank her and her husband as well for inviting us, for hosting us in this auspicious month of Kartik, especially. Haribol. In the month of Kartik, one house program multiplies into 1,000 house programs. So fortunate she is. She gets the mercy of, she gets the fruit of 1,000 house programs. Haribol. Prabhupada ki jai. So anybody wants to ask anything? Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, I remember last year you had given us a very, very nice um, example of of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Mardana about coming when Kali came.
Yeah.
And Kali came and she allured
Yeah.
Mardana and Guru Nanak Dev Ji, why you get up in the morning.
Yes, I gave that katha, I remember.
And
Yes.
Kali, can you please narrate? It's my favorite katha.
Okay. So Kali appeared before Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Actually, He is a pure devotee of the Lord. He travels everywhere, he glorifies, he preaches. Just like Prabhupada has directed, Prabhupada went all the way to America. So likewise, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is traveling. He traveled a lot. And then he's preaching all the time the glories of Hari, Krishna. And he says every day in the morning, early morning, one should get up. I just read also Prateh Kal, one should get up Brahmurata. So Brahmurata is like 4 o'clock one should start chanting. For 4:30 do Aarti and then start chanting. So that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji was preaching all the time, and his disciple Mardana was always with him. Mardana was named Mardana because Mardana's mother, whenever she had a child, the parents had a child, he would die. And they were very much in distress. And when she had another baby, she came to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He said, now you name him, and my all children they die away. And he said, he will not die. He will never die. Mardana. He will not die. So his was named Mardana. And now this Mardana was always born in a Muslim family. He would always follow Guru Nanak Dev Ji, be with him, constant companion of Guru Nanak Dev Ji everywhere. So this Mardana, the Kali Yuga appeared before Mardana. The Kali Yuga came in a black robe, wearing a black robe. But Kali Yuga, it's Kali always is wearing a black robe, and he was wearing a black robe that had lot of patches of cloths on it. So takiya, in Hindi we say takiya. Jagah jagah se it was torn, and on where it was torn, the patches of cloths were put and stitched. So this Kali was wearing such a robe. And the Kali tells Mardana that why does your Guru gets up early in the morning and goes around singing the glories of Vishnu? I'll give him a big palace, I'll give him a throne of gold. He should sit at one place and just do what he wants. Why does he go everywhere? So Mardana said, look at your cloth, look at your dress, what you are wearing. It's got patches all over, and you talk about giving a throne of gold to my Guru. You yourself will look so poor that you have got all those, all those, it's torn, your dress is torn from, and you've got patches all over. And then Kali says, what can I do? Every day I wear fresh robe, fresh black robe I wear. And I spread my black robe all over the universe. No one should get up and chant the name of Vishnu. In the Brahmurta, I spread it out. So you see, you can be awake till 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night. But 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's sometimes very difficult to remain awake. Unless you are on some job or you are on a payroll. But for a normal human being who actually sleeps by say 11, 12, they will fall asleep. But by 3:30, 4 o'clock, if your clock rings, the alarm rings, you again snooze it. Because then you are really feeling very drowsy. So 3:30 is actually the time when you are in a deep sleep. So Kali says that I spread my black cloth all over the globe so that no one should get up and chant the holy name. They would remain asleep. They should asleep. They should be sleeping by that time, and they should remain asleep. Now, and then Kali says the next thing. So these patches you see on my robe is the people like Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They get up early in the morning and they make a hole through my cloth and chant the holy name. they are not restricted by this cloth. They just get up and they make holes in my dress and they remember Vishnu, Krishna. So they make holes, and every day I have to put patches on my dress back. So this is how it is. Brahmurta, the time is for chanting. And those who get up early in the morning, they defy the Kali. They defy Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga becomes helpless when we get up early in the morning. So that's why those who get up in the morning, they get their connections with Krishna. That time is for getting connected to Krishna. That is the Brahmurta, is the time to be with Brahma. Hari There are many, many of God, but I don't know, the time is too restricted we have. It's already 8:04, yeah. So any question anybody else has? Or we end the session? Yes, Prabhuji.
That word humility, we hear about it a lot, and it's a very wonderful quality, but also very elusive. At the same time, sometimes we have a very, very shallow or superficial understanding of what humility is, especially towards a sadhu. We think a sadhu simply means a person who's very soft-spoken, nice, gentle smile, very careful, loving, like that. And then we have Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, who's described as the lion guru,
Yes.
or the Nrsinga guru.
Yes.
So could you just elaborate a little bit on, what actually humility
Yeah.
is in Krishna consciousness?
Humility doesn't just mean when we write, "Oh, I'm your humble servant," and we don't mean it at all. That's a favorite phrase everybody has, ending the letter with "your humble servant." Humility is actually it's mentioned in the third canto of Bhagavatam. It's titikshava kare suhridam sarvabhutana. So it is titikshava, that is, and even in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, the qualities of Brahmanas are said. So one who is very compassionate, one who has love for everyone. So preaching is actually the love for everyone. That is humility. Humility is actually doesn't mean that you look like you are in tattered clothes or you are living in a very simple you're living in a hut or somewhere. It's not that. A person is humble when he is serving the Supreme Lord with full devotion. At the same time, he is tolerating everything. He cooperates, like for Prabhupada's mission. One has to cooperate with everyone, each other. One cannot just say it. I have learned this humility because Guru Maharaj was a living humility in itself. He's personified humility. That's His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Other sannyasis are also that. I'm not saying that. But having his association, we have seen how humility is there. He was so aggressive in book distribution, preaching. He was so aggressive in making temples. He was day and night discussing every detail about a temple, how the temples would come up. And he has made more than 400 temples, like 300 to 400 temples that have been made by under him. And he was in the problem solving of any problem that came up in ISKCON, he was the person who would actually be the solution holder. Had the solution to all the problems in the world, whatever, from his disciples, small problems to the big of ISKCON. He handled them so well. And he never let a single person leave ISKCON. Whether he would have complaints about that person, he had that art, that knack, how to keep that person in ISKCON. How to rectify that person. He had all the tricks. And he was so humble, he would tolerate everything. I haven't seen it myself, but the devotees told me that once a person slapped him, and the devotees wanted nearly revert back to that person, and he said, "No, nobody will say anything. It's my previous karma. That's it. Gone." Such an exalted devotee, such a high post in ISKCON. There was a boy who had some mental problem and he actually tried to slap Maharaj at the airports. His specs flung away and the devotees really wanted to bash him. But then Maharaj said no. The police came up. The police came. Maharaj said no, rescue him from the police and take him to the doctors for the treatment. So you see, it's so humble. We just can't take insulting words also from someone. And he was actually serving the Supreme Lord day and night, every moment. We have seen the video that was viral later on, which the servant made it. The devotee, the secretaries, and all those who were serving him, while he was asleep, they made a video, but they never showed it to anyone when Guru Maharaj was there. But when he left this planet, they then showed it and it became viral. And Guru Maharaj would never let anyone praise him. Other than the Vyas Puja day, we could never glorify him. He would not let us do that. He will tell me, what are you telling others when you preach about me? What do you tell them? He was always worried about that. He said, just be correct and don't glorify me. He would never want that. So he was so humble, so down to earth. He was double MBA, but he would never actually let this be known in the lectures that one should not speak about his qualification. Once I told him, Guru Maharaj, I want to write a book on you. Give me some interviews and I want to write your biography. He said, no, write about Prabhupada. If you want to write about Prabhupada, not me. My uh, my story with him, the book that came up in 2023, I especially the devotees asked him, told him that please tell Mataji to write it. We want to hear the pastimes of yours. They all wanted to know about him because he always talked about Prabhupada. He never let anyone, his personal, he would never let anyone talk about him. We said, Maharaj, we want your footprints. Can we have them? He said, no, Prabhupada's footprints. Worship them. You cannot have mine. He simply said that. So likewise, he taught us that we don't want to be glorified. We want to serve. So humility means real serving. And he really served Prabhupada. Serving your spiritual master actually brings humility. When we start tolerating, so tolerating other devotees, and Guru Maharaj taught us no fault finding. That is humility. He said, never find faults in the devotees. Just look at their services, what they are doing. Just glorify their services. Never ever find fault. If he has also a fault, tell to the higher authorities and don't spread it out like a gossiping. If you find some fault really there, it's truth. Just go to the higher authority who can tend to it, who can rectify it. But just don't go around talking among other devotees about this. Just forget that. Once you have told the higher authorities, you should forget it. It's not now you and he, it's the higher authorities and he. And if anybody is envious of you, you just keep on serving Krishna because your numbers will be up before Krishna because it's you and he, Krishna and you, that matters, not the third person. He taught all that. He always said that. That sometimes we feel, oh, this person is envious of me and there is hatred among devotees. He said there is nothing like it. It's up between you and Krishna. Don't let the third person enter between. Just forget it. Just pray to Krishna that you may forget about his enviousness. Krishna will take care of it. And he taught us all this, to have faith in Krishna. We lose faith. We think, oh, let me settle the scores with the other person. Give him tit for tat. Guru Maharaj said, never ever give tit for tat. Devotee's dictionary, there is no tit for tat. There is just, you have to tell the higher authorities what your problem is. Then you forget. It's up to them how they will tackle. How will they go ahead with it? So in these 26 years, we both had a lot of things that came up from Guru Maharaj, and we experienced a lot of things also. The path is not straight. It's not very straight. It's like the material world. Coming to spiritual world, you will experience everything. You will see everything. All the devotees are not that pure. Guru Maharaj said the problem with you is that you see everyone has come from Vaikuntha. But then when you find a fault, you say, oh my God, this little fault also looks such magnified thing. Because the first foremost you think, oh, this man is from Vaikuntha, he's a devotee. But there, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he also can commit some mistake. He is a human. To error is human. It's there in the Vedas. So be careful while dealing with the devotees. Of course, but Krishna says you have to take them up as sadhus only. They are sadhus. If they committed any mistake, Krishna will take care and they will, like a Jamil, he was brought bhakti. Because he was a bhakta earlier. And that is why he received Krishna's mercy. So humility is a very big topic. But in simple, Prabhupada reminds us of the Chaitanya Shikshashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichaina Tarudishna Amanina Mandina Kirtaniya Sadahari. So this is in itself humility, thinking yourself to be a blade of grass. become that, it says vinamrata, have that much of actually in you the humility that you think you are a servant to everyone, like a blade of grass. You walk on the head of the grass and grass doesn't complain and it stands back on its feet. It comes back. So like grass and like a tree, sahansheel, tolerant like a tree. A tree gives fruit and shadow. It gives to everyone. It gives shelter to people. They sit under beneath the tree. They eat the fruits of the tree. So be tolerant like a tree. Tree takes up everything upon him. All the summers, all the sunshine, all the rains, everything he takes it on him. And then amanina manadena, give respect to everyone. Don't ask for respect ever. If you're not given respect, just don't take it. Don't let your false ego take up your heads. So give respect to others. A Vaishnava is the one who gives respect to everyone. He's always doing dandavats, giving respect to everyone. So that is a Vaishnava. Guru Maharaj in his advanced stage of Parkinson's would kneel down when his godbrother would enter the room. From his sofa he would kneel down. And his Parkinson's was very bad. The doctors were surprised. They would say, in this Parkinson's, to lift a penny, a small coin, is like picking up a mountain. Guru Maharaj was doing every day the deity worship in the altar. And in a normal person, if you have ever held a chamar or the peacock fan, they are so heavy. Even the lamp, the ghee lamps are very heavy. He would hold them and do the arati. So doctors were surprised that how he can do it. This is all Krishna's mercy. So because he was above the body, we can't be like him, but we can try at least take the instructions from him and take instructions from Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was so humble that he used to cook for these peas, his so-called disciples who were made his disciples, who were now his disciples in America. He would cook for them, wash the utensils in which they eaten. He would wash them with his own hands. He was so humble. For him there was happy in Vrindavan. Why did he come to America? To follow the instructions of his spiritual master. So this is humility, that we actually be rid of our false pride. As devotees, we should cooperate with each other. That's what Prabhupada said. That if you really love me, then cooperate with each other and expand ISKCON. So that is how it has expanded with the mercy of the Guru Parampara, mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavatar ki jai, Damodar Ma ki jai, Yashoda Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So there are a few copies. I have brought the books. Those who want, please contact Ritesh Prabhu. He can guide. I'll be leaving now, so next year maybe you get some books if when I come back. If and when I come back. Hari Bol.
Very, very special. Please definitely come back.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mhm. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Hare